I used to live up here when I was in high school. This is Livingston Mountain. And then Jones Creek is up here, Jones Creek Campground. When I was in my senior year, I had the Sandy Bar Flea Market. It's an old race car, like number 19. It's a 69 Pontiac Catalina. It's a roll bar in it, and gut it out. I'd take it up here and haul ass around at Jones Creek. And then one time, a long time ago, this friend of mine, Rob, and he came with me. I was gonna come up here and crash this car, kind of on purpose, right? If you know what I mean. And so he was gonna come with me. And so we come up here, or we went and had split a pitcher of beer at the tavern, at the Anchor, before we left. And then I drove up here. Well, we took some acid too, okay? So the acid's kicking in a little bit, and I'm driving, and we get up somewhere in this area. And he's like, I've never drove a car this nice before. Think I could drive for a little while before we get up to where we're going and crash it? And I'm like, well, okay. And I switch places with him, and he starts driving, and I just put my seatbelt on. It wasn't really a firm habit at the time, but I just felt like, well, I'm not driving, I better put my seatbelt on. And sure enough, we take off, we get going, and we're being followed by my friend Celeste. She's gonna give us a ride back. She's a little ways behind us, out of sight by a little bit. So we're cruising along, and we get coming up on the corner. I think we passed the actual corner. You see how the terrain is here. we're going, and I'm like, and Rob gets up to about 40, and then we notice he takes one of these corners a bit fast, and I'm like, Rob, and he's just spacing off. He's zoned out. I'm like, Rob, you motherfucker! And he just whooped right off the side of the road, right? In an area, not with the big trees like that. It had been clear cut more recently, so there was lots of little trees and bushes and stumps, and it was at a 45-degree angle. So I remember it quite vividly, because we slid off the side of the road slowly, and we started encountering the little trees, and they were just whip, going in front of the lights and hitting the hood. And as I was looking over at Rob out the driver's window, kind of at an angle, looking up, and I saw Celeste drive by on the main road. She didn't see us go off the side, and so I watched her. She drove by, and I could judge our speed. I'm like, man, we're still going like 30 miles an hour probably. And I looked back forward, and right then the headlights did a crisscross up into the air, and we hit a stump and came to a stop. And my seatbelt caught me, and I looked at the windshield, and the windshield was cracked, and there was blood on it. And I was thinking, wow, how'd that get there? And then my knuckles were bloody. The impact jerked my arms forward so fast, they hit the windshield, broke it, left blood on it, that I didn't even see it happen. I hadn't even registered that I felt it yet. And I was thinking, I'm sure glad I was wearing my seatbelt. And Rob wasn't, so he was all piled up on the steering wheel. Luckily for him, it was a fairly padded steering wheel on this old Buick. Or he'd have been really messed up. Oh my God. If he hadn't have been so messed up when I drug him out of the car, I would have kicked his ass. But I'm like, his ass is already kicked. Shit. And I was wearing my seatbelt, so I'm doing a little better. This used to all be gravel here. They've paved it more recently. Going up here to Jones Creek, you used to be able to get through and take the back way into Skamania County up here, but they blocked it off a long time, like many years ago. Probably been like 8 or 10 years since I noticed it. But it's not just that they blocked it off. They blocked it off with the gate that took a lot to build. I'm gonna make a video on it here shortly when I get there. My battery's already dropped by 1 point, so I guess I better conserve my battery. Alright, I'll be back.